existence of evil. If God is good, if God is wise, if God is powerful, if God is all-knowing, why should there be evil in a universe made by such a God? And so different religions have come up with different stories to explain it, but the stories don't explain it. If you say, well, it was the Garden of Eden where Adam and Eve knowing beforehand God was going to happen, and still he did it. Still he did it. Could Adam and Eve have eaten the apple without the power of God? No, that also was the power of God. Judas, who was responsible for the crucifixion of Jesus, he was one who betrayed Jesus. The disciple who betrayed him for gold. He was paid money to betray Jesus, and so he got money for the crucifixion of Jesus. But Judas also was the power of the Divine Mother. That also was the power of the Divine Mother. If, from a Christian standpoint, it was necessary for Jesus to die for the salvation of human beings, then Judas was necessary. Judas was essentially the economy of God. So how can you go on for 2,000 years hating Judas, spitting on Judas, cursing Judas? He was the one who opened the door to the salvation of humanity, if you believe the Christian story, if that's your story, if that's your belief. Judas could only do what he did because he was actuated by the same divinity. It was part of the same divine story which was working itself out. And so this idea of the motherhood of God, where she is the mother of everything, the all-powerful mother. So Swamiji goes on, activity according to Sankhya belongs to Prakriti, to nature, not to Purusha or soul. And so in the Sankhya philosophy, which yoga philosophy as a separate philosophy also follows, there's Purusha and there's Prakriti. Purusha is the self, the divine, all-perfect being. And all activity and all manifestation is Prakriti. But the two are eternally separate. Both are eternally real and eternally separate. Bondage comes because the Purusha has identified with Prakriti. So our task is to disidentify with the universe, with everything objective, mental and physical universe, completely disidentify with everything, remain as pure consciousness alone, and then we are free. But that wasn't satisfying to the Vedanta philosophy, because you had two realities. You had Purusha and you had Prakriti. But Vedanta said no, that Prakriti is only an appearance of the Purusha, that this universe is just an appearance of the one reality. And so you had in traditional Vedanta philosophy, not in the Upanishads, but later Vedanta as it developed as a school. You had Vedanta which sought to merge into Brahman, that sought to realize Brahman and to forget the universe, to deny the universe, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. This universe, Brahman is true, this universe is false. So get rid of the universe, forget the universe, ignore it, detach yourself from it. But Swamiji brought dynamic Advaita, dynamic non-dualism. And how did he do that? Because when Purusha and Prakriti are come together, and Prakriti is seen as just a manifestation of Brahman, this whole universe is seen as a manifestation of Brahman. That was the essential idea in Sri Ramakrishna's Vijnana philosophy. That the Vijnani, the one of superior realization, realizes that all of this is nothing but Brahman. They no longer see a distinction between Brahman and the world. No, the world becomes nothing but Brahman taking on form, but they see the world as Brahman, not like us who see it as material and separate from consciousness. They see it as made of nothing but pure consciousness. And so Swamiji took that idea, the Vijnana of Sri Ramakrishna, and made it into a dynamic Advaita, where there was an Advaita which was a manifestation of the divinity within. From the standpoint of traditional Vedanta, then there's no question of dynamic Advaita, because the self is inactive, it's unchanging, unmanifest, unthinkable, without movement. And yes, that is true. But as Sri Ramakrishna said, the snake when it's still, and the snake in motion is the same snake. And so the universe is the snake in motion. That is, it's the dance of Shiva, it's the dance of Kali, it's the dance of Durga. This universe is the manifestation of that consciousness. And so life becomes dynamic because it's a manifestation of the reality within. So our approach to that reality is manifesting more and more of that reality within. In another way, associated way, going in the same direction, consciousness, pure consciousness, Brahman, there's no question of Shakti there. There's no question of power. There's no question of energy. There's no question of manifestation. There's no question of anything. There's no question of strength or anything like that. But when you come to this universe and see it as a manifestation of Brahman, that's why Swami Vivekananda said, all strength is inside of you. That within the self is all strength, all power. Oh no, traditionally that's not true. Because traditionally the self is just pure consciousness. It's beyond Shakti and all of that. But Swamiji saw the two coming together, saw that the two were the same, as Sri Ramakrishna said. The universe is a manifestation of that divine power. That this universe is and so the soul, which is pure consciousness, which still the highest realization is the realization of Brahman, which is beyond the universe, beyond thought, beyond everything. But as long as we see the universe, manifestation of power as well. That was what Totapuri had to learn, was that Totapuri had realized Brahman, but he saw this universe as an illusion which had to be shunned. But Sri Ramakrishna, through the power of Sri Ramakrishna, Totapuri, his own guru, realized that no, that when the universe appears, then the Divine Mother is real. The Divine Mother is the same Brahman which manifests as this universe. And so a higher realization is to see this as non-different from that. That there's only one reality, sometimes expressed in transcendence, sometimes expressed as this universe. And so that was the highest development of the mother idea. So Swamiji says, of all feminine types in India, the mother is preeminent. The mother stands by her child through everything. Wife and children may desert a man, but his mother never. So again, this idea of the all-loving nature of the mother. That woman as wife or woman as child can desert one, but woman as mother can't desert the child. And so that idea of God, when you have God as father, then you can have the idea the all-loving, all-accepting nature of the mother comes in. So, mother again, energy of the because of the colorless love that asks not, desires not in her child, but loves him more. And mother worship of all highest classes amongst the Hindus. And so this idea of mother worship where you can't think of God as a cosmic policeman who is waiting to find out the evildoers and to punish them. No. The worst person in the world is also a child of the Divine Mother and will never be lost. Will never be lost because the tie to the Divine Mother is intrinsic. It's a very expression of the Divine Mother. And so that philosophy is what in Western religious terms is called a universalist philosophy. That is that no one will be left behind. Nobody will be left behind. Hitler, Stalin, Pol Pot, all of them also will remember at some point in the course of their evolution, they will remember that they are children of the mother and will run to the mother. And so no one will be left behind. The goal can only be described as something not yet attained, but here there is no goal. So if we have a goal in life, there's something that it's a goal because I haven't attained it. I want to attain it. And so I make it a goal. Once I've attained it, then it's no longer a goal. It's something, well, I check it off of the to-do list and it goes into the trash. But a goal is something that I have to attain. But he says here in this worship of the Divine Mother, there's no goal. What does that mean? Because we haven't realized God yet, so there must be a goal, the realization of God. What he means is that this universe is the play of the Divine Mother. This universe is just the play of the Divine Mother. All we have to do is to recognize it. So yes, if you want to say that's a goal, yes, it's a goal. But it's not a goal in the sense of something that we have to change into, something that we have to accomplish. No, it's just recognition. It's just recognition. There's a recognition that this whole universe is the play of God. Now that idea of the universe being the play of God disturbs some people. In fact, many years ago, I was talking about it, and somebody, a new devotee, who became a very, very good and close devotee. But when she was a new devotee, she heard me talking about this universe being the play of God, and she said, I hate it, I hate it, I hate that idea, I hate it. Why? She hated it because if you take this universe as play, it seems to be making fun of everything and making light of everything. And all of your struggles and everything, it's all just play, it's all just fun. No, as one of my friends, a Swami, said, they were almost contemporaries, he said, seeing the universe as the play of God is the hardest thing in the world. Hardest thing, why? Because we take everything so seriously. And we want to take it seriously. And so taking it as play is serious business. We have to, it's hard work to learn to relax enough so that we can take the world as play. And where do we start with? From within ourselves, within our own experience. Not looking at other people and seeing somebody having an accident, saying, oh, look at that, that's the play of God. No, not that. Not minimizing the experience of others, but looking at my own experience, the good and bad that happens to me, to see that, no, that's the play of Mother. It's play of Mother. And to the extent that I can do that, I will find benefit from everything. So Swamiji says, even misery can be enjoyed when there is no selfishness, when we have become the witness of our own lives, when we see that everything is a play of Mother. I'm just a child. So there's the jnani way of doing that I am pure consciousness, and no question of mother and child and all of that, just I am pure consciousness, and everything is just the play of consciousness. Or the devotee's way, where it's just the play of the Divine Mother and I'm her child. So that the small child can't do anything for itself, hardly. It depends on Mother for everything. And so everything that happens is the play of the Mother. And so in that sense also we become the witness of our own lives. The thinker of this philosophy has been struck by the idea that one power is behind all phenomena. Good and bad, everything is from the same source. How can you say that one thing comes from God and another thing comes from the devil, when everything is all mixed up together? Something that you consider good today, later you consider it bad. Something that you used to consider bad, today you see that as very good. So in our thought of God, there is human limitation, personality. With Shakti comes the idea of one universal power. And then he quotes again from the Devi Suktam, I stretch the bow of Rudra when he desires to kill. Aham rudrayata dhanur atanomi. I stretch the bow of Rudra. That is the deity, the Vedic deity Rudra, who later became Shiva, who had the bow. She, Vak Devi, is saying that I, who have realized my identity as the Divine Mother, as Shakti. I am the one who, through Rudra, pulls the bow. Rudra, the deity, the god Rudra, thinks he's pulling his bow. No, he pulls it through my power. Shiva thinks it's through his power that he dances his Tandava dance. No, that's through my power that Shiva dances. It's through me that everything happens. It's through me, as she says here in the Devi Suktam, it's through me that all of the gods perform their activities. It's my power that they are using. That is the idea of the Divine Mother in the Chandi, where the gods are concerned because the demons, the asuras, have taken over the universe, and how to get it back. The power to get it back. So what do? They come together, and the power of all of the gods comes together and manifests as Shakti. Of all of the gods, the collective, there's power acting in the universe, and that is the power of the Divine Mother. For Vedanta does not care Arjuna, I am the real and I bring evil. Everything comes out of him. And so that is the time. This universe is a composite fact of good and evil, and one must be manifesting through both. Gita went to sleep, but then it comes. A one-legged God. And makes us this idea that God is only good. He says it makes us brutal. It lands us in want of sympathy and makes us brutal. But the idea that idea, they become highly moralistic, but moralistic in the sense of hating the wrongdoer, casting sinners into hell, and wanting to see them suffer, because these evildoers, we will take care of them and we will make them suffer. Yes, society has a right to protect itself from people who are out to harm innocent people. That's a right. But how do I do it? Do I do it, oh, you sinner, I'm going to get you, and you are this, and even in your next life you're going to pay for this, and for 10 more lifetimes. So how can you do that? You want everyone. You want to see everyone. Divine Mother. Not that I will see you. No, not that. So he's concept is an ethics of brutality, an ethics of punishment, vindictive, punishing morality. The saint hates the sinner, and the sinner struggles against the saint. So it sets up this fight between saint and sinner. Finally, the wicked, efficient mind will die, crushed under repeated blows. So all of us see repeated blows. And then we shall awake and know the mother. Then we'll wake up and know that everything is the mother, and that everything comes from the mother. Eternal, unquestioning self-surrender to mother alone can give us peace. Love her for herself, he says, without fear or favor. Love her because you are her child. See her in all, good and bad. That is mother herself. Suddenly become a worshiper of God as mother, that would go against the very teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. Mother, the creator. Of life. That we see everything is divine, beyond good and bad. Beyond good and bad doesn't mean below good and bad. read and it's a there he goes back until he comes to the end. So let me just read bees besotted, buzzing hither and yon, sweetly on earth. The soft, sweet breeze known as Malaya blows part bumblebees at play, music echoing from cave leaves, singing enchanting songs of love. The rising sun, artist supreme, merely touches Earth's canvas with his golden brush, and a wealth of playful color covers her breast, awakening a world of sweet sentiment. And so here he paints an image of beauty and pleasure and delight. And then he goes on, thunderheads rumble, the sharp clap of thunder, the din of worlds, darkness vomits, yet denser darkness, and the wind of end times, pralaya, howls of destruction. Bolt after terrifying bolt of lightning strikes, breaking that darkness with flashes blood red, roaring, raging, foaming monster waves. With boom, deep and profound, the earth itself trembles and crashes to perdition. The ground splits open and flame rages out. Mighty mountains are blown to dust. And then he goes, the wine of happiness. But when the time comes, who knows where they have fled? You are death, disease, pestilence, vessels of venom. The terrible, ship hoping for happiness. You make pretense of bhakti and worship with the mind full set on selfish ends. Seeing the blood that streams from the neck of the goat's severed head, your heart trembles. Coward, compassion, you say? How strange indeed. To whom shall I tell the truth? Free yourself from the mighty attraction, the maddening wine of love. Forward with the roar of the ocean song. the shmashan, cremation ground, with his funeral pyres, unending battle his worship. Let not constant defeat unnerve you. Burn to ashes small self, volition and pride, by making your heart a cremation ground, and let Shama dance there. So that's a good place to end. Stop here. Let's see if there's a single question. We're already over time, so I won't take more. But if there is a single question, I'll take that. Okay. Oh, okay.
Why have you said that in the sea?
Just a moment. We need to get it on the microphone. Virji, up front. And up front.
Maharaj, you said that in the sea there are different waves. One is small, another one is medium, and then the highest one. But when they go to the shore, they all die. So, same thing in our human being. You compare the sea water as a consciousness. So, in the same human being, we are different bodies, different mind. How can we realize that we are pure consciousness? In me, I can realize in me I have tensions, but not the pure consciousness. I didn't realize that. And how can we realize that everybody, because their mind is different, their body is different, they behave different, everything is different. So how can we realize that the same consciousness is in everybody?
Yes. Yeah, that's a good question. First, let me say that realizing that everyone is divine, everything is pure consciousness, doesn't mean that we lose the ability to act appropriately. If someone is coming to harm me, I have every right to defend myself. So it's not that that's the meaning of Thakur's Sri Ramakrishna's story about the God, that when the elephant was coming, the disciples stood in front of it singing praises of him. They thought that the elephant also is God, and the mad elephant took him and threw him against a tree. And the teacher asked him, not move out of the way. And he said, because I saw the thing is God, and I saw the elephant is God. And so the Acharya said, the Guru said, but the Mahut also is God. Why didn't you listen to him when he was telling you to get out of the way? So, in the beginning, it seems erases distinctions. We don't even know how to act in the world. That's the great fear, that if I say everything is God, then everyone will take advantage of me. No, Sri Ramakrishna said that this idea that everything is God, we have to digest it in such a way, play the dance of Mother different from the way that an ignorant person is just reacting out of ignorance. Call the police on someone who's doing some harm. We'll do that with the consciousness that the person doing harm is God, the one who's being harmed is God, the police is God, everything is God. But this is the play right now, and so let me respond. So there was. So everything. over time and afterwards. So let me give a closing chant and then no. Om madhuvatartayate Shanti Sindavaha Madhvina Santoshadhi Madhunaktamutoshasi Madhumat Parthivagum Rajaha Madhudyavarastu Pita Madhumandho Vanaspatir Madhumagum Astu Surya Madhvirgavo Bhavantunaha Om Madhu Om Madhu Om Madhu. For us who seek the truth, and for all beings, may the winds blow sweetly. May the rivers flow sweetly. May the herbs yield us sweetness. Sweet be the night and the break of day. Sweet be the very dust of the earth. May the heavens pour down sweetness upon us. May the trees, lords of the forest, bear us sweetness. May the sun shed its sweetness upon us. May all the directions pour forth sweetness. Om, sweetness, sweetness, sweetness. Before announcements, in case that prayer sound